I found Burlington House Nursing Home easily enough. There were paper chains up in the hallway, and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with a lopsided angel on top. I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. See here, our writer reached the Burlington nursing home. A writer could find the Burlington nursing home easily. In the hall of the nursing home, there was a Christmas tree with beautiful lights in the corner. And on the top of the Christmas tree, there was a lopsided angel. Lopsided means one side lower or what smaller than the other, right? Writer said to the matron that he came to visit Macpherson to give her a Christmas present. I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. She even offered me a mince pie. She walked me along the corridor. Here, the writer tells us about the nursing home. See, the writer could see other people in the nursing home. They all were in the dining room, and everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. The matron also had a hat, and she expressed her happiness when she saw our writer. Actually, they were celebrating Christmas. The matron offered him a mince pie. Mince pie is a type of dish with a sweet taste. Okay, and she walked with the writer through the corridor to meet Mrs. Macpherson. Mrs. Macpherson is not in with the others, she told me. She is rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. She has no family, no one visits. See, when the writer and the matron walked through the corridor, the matron told him that Mrs. Macpherson is not with the others because we felt that Macpherson is not that much fine today. Here used the word confused because actually Mrs. Macpherson is a mentally disorganized person as she is very old. I told you 101 years old, right? She have problems with her memory and her treatment is going on. So Mrs. Macpherson is so confused today, so we thought she needed a good rest, matron told. And matron told to writer that she have no family and doesn't have any visitors. So I'm sure she'll be only too pleased to see you. Matron told that I'm sure that Mrs. Macpherson will be very happy to see you as a visitor. She took me into a conservatory with wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left me. So here conservatory means a room with a glass roof and walls and wicker means cane. Okay. So Mrs. Macpherson is in a special room and she was sitting in a cane chair. There were potted plants and the matron left her writer there near Macpherson and matron had gone from there. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair, her hands folded in her lap. She had silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun. She was gazing out at the garden. So here the writer tells us about the appearance of Mrs. Macpherson. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair. Her hands were there on her lap. She had silver white hair and it was pinned with bun. Bun, the knot which girls used to tie their hair, that is bun. She was gazing to the garden. Hello, I said. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. Happy Christmas, Connie. I went on. I found this. I think it's yours. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. Vacantly means with blank. Our writer wished the lady happy Christmas and he told her about the letter. I found it's yours, but when our writer started to speak her, there was no change in Connie's face. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. That was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became suffused with a sudden glow of happiness. When the writer opened the tin box and gave it to her, her eyes lit up. Lit up means became bright with happiness, excitement, we can say. Her eyes became excited to show that she understood something, and her face became suffused. Suffused means spread all over with a sudden glow of happiness, that is suffused. Connie became very happy, and that happiness spread all over her face like she could understand something. I explained about the desk, about how I had found it, but I don't think she was listening. Writer explained everything about the desk and how he found that letter, but Connie was not listening. See, we can understand that Connie's mental condition is not proper. Hope you are clear everything. Let's move to the last part of the story. Okay.